Well, let's have a look at the rand. I mean, everybody's just so surprised about the rand. I mean, Christelle called it spot on. She said that the rand can maybe surprise us all the way, and it can actually maybe go to 15 rand. And it was actually surprising to see that nobody was 100% sure what to expect from the rand. And I mean, the chart just told us that this lamp formation, like always, can easily turn into what we call a waterfall formation. This is a weekly chart, guys, just to show you whenever a share or an instrument or an index got this massive rally in a straight line, sorry, it usually find a place where it almost sell off. And there you are. There's the rally, and it's now coming back. And in actual fact, look at this level. There's the important level. That was previously a support. And there's a support again. Now it looks like this line wants to turn into a resistance. And the important level here is 15 Rand and 32 cents. And remember, this is a weekly chart. So who asked about, oh, Joe asked about the Rand. Well, Joe, if the Rand remains below 15.32, don't be surprised. It can maybe go to 15.14 and even 15 Rand. If 15.32 turns into a support again, that will be a little bit negative for the Rand, because remember, if a line is first a resistance and it turns it back into a support and it bounces off here, it can easily show some weakness. And where's the level? 15.32, then 15.58, and then of course 16.15 is also a strong level. I'm focusing on this little line. If it bounces above here, and remember the Rand had one beautiful rally all the way from 19 to about 15.20. If the Rand can turn this line, and there's the level, 16 Rand 10 cent. If 16 Rand 10 cent can turn into a support and the Rand starts to move above that, we can maybe be surprised that the Rand can also weaken again. And it's always like that. When everybody believes that the Rand can just remain strong forever, that will be the time where you buy your dollars. And on the other hand, when everybody believes that the Rand can just weaken again, it's maybe time not to buy dollars and sometimes bring some dollars back if you really want to. Well, let's have a look at Anglo-American. Karen asked about Anglo-American. And Anglo-American, of course, is one of those big mining houses, almost like a conglomerate. And they do a lot of things. And look at this beautiful chart. I mean, this share is just telling us that the people love the commodities. And there you are. Look at this line, almost like bulletin. The momentum is clearly to the upside. There you can see that. I mean, there's the support line. It just shows you. And can you believe it? Anglo-American just breached this line. There you are. There's the line that I'm looking at. That level there is 439.69, 439.61. While the Rand is moving above 439.61, it just tells you that the momentum is purely to the upside. The only thing that worries me about Anglo-American and some of the other commodity counters is when you see the steep rallies, like a lamp formation, it always gives you a little bit of a pullback. And that's one of the reasons why I am not a momentum trader. Because if you are a momentum trader, you maybe buy today at, let's call it 460, and you may be right for a day or two. This little lamp formation that we're seeing there, that little rally there, always start to lose momentum, and then you're wrong. So I usually say I identify a share, I like the graph, and then I wait for a proper pullback or a place where the share is either oversold or it gets close to a support line, and then I will look at buying the share. I never chase a share. Yes, I've sometimes lost out on some beautiful rallies. That's okay. That is just my style to phase myself into the market, and for me it works. Let's have a look at South 32. And of course, this company is a South African company, and if we look at it, remember they're big into coal. The beautiful sell-off from 44 Rand all the way down to about 18 Rand. And what I see here is, I like the chart here. There's a low, higher low, and it's starting to move above this previous low of 22.40. And who asked? Oh, Neville asked about it. Neville, if the share, I don't know if you've got the stock, but if the share can break above this line, this resistance line, that line sits at 28 Rand and 9 cents. If If it can break above that, there's something interesting here. Then we can maybe see that this share is working on an inverse head and shoulder. There's your left shoulder. There's the head. And we're busy working on the right shoulder. And if we do a projection here you are, we use that little line. That's from the head to the neckline. And you just take that same projection to the top. It can maybe take the share all the way back to 35.05. But what's the important thing here? The important thing here, Neville, is that it needs to break this neckline. That neckline sits at 27.74. If it breaks that neckline, then you know that this left shoulder, this head, and the right shoulder is in place, and it can maybe give us a nice rally. If you do buy on the neckline, make use of the low of this right shoulder, 22.64 as your stop loss. For me personally, it's a little bit big. I will take a smaller stop loss level. I will use 26 Rand and 4 cents. If it can stay above 26.04, it looks like this right shoulder will be intact and we can easily move a little bit higher. Let's have a look at some other shares. Let's have a look at Tesla. I mean, this is the star of the market. I mean, it's also included now into the Dow Jones. So nothing can go wrong. Everybody loves the company. And if you look at Tesla, I mean, there's no disappointments here. I mean, if you look at Tesla, Johannes, and this is the guy that asked about it, he just say, listen, Frans, I bought some Tesla shares and I'm just smiling to the bank. And that's quite right. I mean, look at this. From about 78, and remember, they also had the share split in between. It's now at 562. This share is just showing one way. Momentum is to the upside. Let's have a look at that line. There's the line. Look at that. That line just tells you momentum is clearly to the upside. This Lampel formation worries me a little bit because this was the line that it had to break to give us a nice rally, and that is at 452. It's sitting at 562. It can maybe give us a pullback. But remember, this is one of the, you can almost say, all-time favorites of anyone that wants to chase a stock. And they love it, and that is Tesla. Now, if we look at another one, let's have a look at Bitcoin. And Ernst asked about Bitcoin. Now, Ernst, if you look at Bitcoin, I mean, this is the other beauty of the market. I mean, this is the dollar price, and it's 19,498. It's so close to 20,000. It will probably go to 20,000. And Ernst, if I look at the chart, it just shows you everybody in love Bitcoin. And what is the beauty? Remember previously, the high was there. There you are. Let's have a look at the high there. There you are. The high was previously 18,200. Let's call it 18,200 on the weekly chart. And what happened? It built a massive base, and now suddenly it rallied. Well, in all, you can almost say in 3 months, it rallied from $10,000 to 20,000. I mean, it just surpassed everybody. And just shows you that traders love Bitcoin. They just buy it. And if you look at this chart, above that 18,200 level, the momentum is still clearly to the upside. And that tells you that the chart can actually go higher. I've actually read today that somebody say it can go to $74,000. And where does this guy get it? He says this is only the start of Bitcoin. But if you look at this base form, and I use just this normal method of mine that from the bottom of the you can almost say rounding bottom, you just extend it to the top. You can take the price to 32,226. I mean, what a beautiful rally. There's just one thing that we need to remember about Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin also has the tendency, if things turn around, it can fall easy. And the reason why I'm saying that, look at this. Previously, that was the chart of Bitcoin. It looked beautifully. But can you guys see there was a Lampel formation? It rallied beautifully up. And when it turned around, it fell off a cliff. I don't say it's going to happen now. But what do we see here again? A Lampel formation, strong rally to the top, and it can easily pull back. But where will I get nervous about the company, about Bitcoin? Only below 18,200. Above 18,200, momentum is up. I do not trade Bitcoin. In actual fact, I'm too stupid to understand what Bitcoin it's all about and what they do and the mining of it. I don't understand it. I will say above 18,200. Ernst, I hope you've got some Bitcoin because it's running beautifully. But above 18,200, I'm positive. Below 18,200, I'm nervous because if it breaks, it can maybe go back to that level of 16,777, and the next support will be 14,606, and there's a tiny one in between at 15,580. But what does it tell us? It tells us that there's a lot of traders chasing Bitcoin and that it's a favorite of the market. And I'm just a little bit nervous that this favorites of the markets can maybe surprise to the downside sometime. But at the moment, it's flying. Let's see if we can maybe have a quick look at gold. Anna asked about it. If we look at gold, I mean, a massive rally from 1,190 in October all the way up to 2,000. Suddenly it's starting to lose a little bit of momentum, Anna. There's the high, there's a lower high, there's almost like a double toppy there, tiny one, and it just made a new lower low. That's negative. Let's have a look there. There you are. Lower low below 1849. So while it's below that, the trend is to the downside. It wants to turn around. And for a medium to a long-term investor, because a lot of people believe in gold for the long term, the support line here is all the way waiting at 1685. So it can easily pull back to 1685 if this selling persists. Well, thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you for sending in all the requests. We're at the end of the year. We're almost at the end of our last programs for the year. Thank you so much. And let's hope that gold can turn around and only above 1850 will be positive again. Well, all the best, and we will chat again.